When you send an email, first of all, young adults, I would say probably much younger than us. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Do you guys do email?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You guys do? But like younger people, would you say? I know my sister who's 20, she doesn't. So so in other words, if you were going to try to communicate, it'd be more effective to get on Facebook, to shoot us an email. Would you agree? To send us an email on Facebook or to send us a text. When we respond back, respond quickly. Make the response like timely. You're paying attention. You're getting back to them. So make fast responses. And one of the things that we have is we have access to so much info, so we're scanners. So if you have an email that you're trying to target to young adults, make it short, make it brief, put some bold headlinings in. Drop your kids a text, say, I know you only have 2 minutes, but would you open this email? They can open the email, boom, boom, boom. They can close the email. They got the information, they're out the door. I get these emails from some people that are so long, and I'm like, I'm not going to read through that. Okay, you need to understand what they're up against. What they're taught in school. If your kids or grandkids or neighbor kids go to public school, private school, charter school, they're with the teachers and in the classroom and in the school setting more than they're with you. So if you're frustrated because they're not all about your principles, why? Well, not only are they not teaching them, but if your kids are in the school system and then they have sports and then they're hanging out with their friends, and if they're dating somebody, they're off dating, and then they have their job. So what are they home? At your dinner table, this is in general, if kids are even having dinner with their families, do you have conversations with them for maybe 5 minutes a day? They don't watch Fox News. They don't watch CNN, BBC, any news source. There's MTV, maybe BBC. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there'll be snippets they'll grab here and there. But if you're frustrated because they're not all about your principles, my question is why? They're not home, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that homeschooling is the only way to do it. No, but I'm just making the point that for me to expect my kids to have a certain belief system, if they are with a secular brainwashing system, and God knows that there are a lot of homeschool situations that are not ideal. And there are amazing public school situations as well. But that's my point, where are they spending their time? Okay, you need to understand what they're up against, and you need to understand that we're not taught to think critically. I had a conversation with one of my sister's friends today, got together with coffee for her, and just picking her brain. It was fascinating. And, we're friends, Facebook friends, we'll check in once in a while. And so I started going down this road on questions. She said, Amy, she's like, questions, it's not that I was going to present it to you as, we're not thought to think critically, but she said, actually, to be asked a question, to answer a question is almost fearsome. It's almost like you're afraid. If you're sitting in a public school setting and it could be socially intimidating. You answer, you think critically, you voice what you're saying, and Greg was even saying that, like, in classes, you'll sit there and you hear what the professor's saying, and you're like, something doesn't register right inside of me. But our environment, I think really what I would challenge parents is to encourage boldness and tenacity, and that our identity is in God and the security of our family, or if you don't have the family, it's in your tight-knit community of those grandparents that have adopted you and that aunt and uncle, so that you're confident that no matter what you say when you go into that other environment, that no matter what they say and they respond to, that you can live with it. But we need to be taught critically, and we need to be asking questions. A real-life example to me, practical, would be when you have your kids that come in and they say, oh, I don't understand why the government is so big, bad, I'm mad at it. Well, what are you mad at it about? Start asking them questions. Well, why are you mad? where did you get your information? Oh, well, Susie's mom was talking about it on the phone to her dad. Well, do you know for sure that it was applicable to the same situation? No, but I just know. Start asking questions. Where is your source? Have you looked into that source? Do you find that source to be trustworthy? Who else is talking about that? Instead of, because our generation is good at sound bites, so if we hear something in a song, we hear some rapper that says, you know, that you shouldn't do this or you should do that, you should vote for Obama. Well, he's someone that maybe that our generation likes or looks to, so we hear that soundbite repeated over and over. That becomes our truth. We don't take time, in general, to actually go behind and to say, okay, what is this? Is this person all about truth? What's this person talking about? We also have, and I think this is big, and I'm not going to hit on this for very long, but subtle coercion. And that's, we bought in the sound bites. The liberals are doing really well. They're getting to us. Okay. You need to understand what matters to us. And here's your encouragement too. Here's what matters to us. Causes, people, and finances. Social causes, making sure people are taken care of. All right, now you need to know this. What annoys us about conservatives? I don't know if I said it. Okay, you ready? And my apologies. This hurts. The conservative and Republican, their ways are old and staunch. Everything is negative. People complaining. Behind in the times. Don't understand how the issues that I care about are the same as your issues. They don't understand what you're for or why they should join you. We need to understand what you stand for and why we should join you. Did you guys all get a copy of this? Okay. I think this will help a little bit. This is still a work in progress, but take a look at this. Like I said, still a work in progress. The purpose of this document is basically to identify some of the key issues that's in the conversation right now. And what I've done is visualize what the Tea Party conservative pat answer is, what the young adult answer is, and then an idea for how to blend those. We need to understand what you're for and why, and we need you to understand that some of the things that you care about are the same things we care about. So let's talk about people, for example. Let's talk about, you could take any of these issues. Let's say the bottom, item 6, welfare, poverty, needs. So here's your statement. The Tea Party type statement, conservative statement. The community should help them until they can get on their feet. It should be a limited service. We'll help them find a job, I think that was cut off, but hand up instead of hand out. To us though, our perception is we want to help those in need. Hand out. Give, 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 give. We don't understand the source of where it comes from, and the source is limited. Okay, so do you see the common thread there? You want to help people. We want to help people. We want to help the women who don't have enough food to feed their kids. You want to help the hurting businessman so that he has money to take care of his family. Okay, so what about this potential response? Have you ever thought of having a conversation then with your kids that says something like, okay, so you want to help this family in need, but do you know how long they've been on the system? For generations? Did you know that it decreases their dignity and potential and value? What you need to do is identify what your issue is, identify what their issue is. You, as the adult, the one who's the CIA in all of this, start to have that conversation. Identify with them, say, hey, I saw on Facebook that you were really concerned about helping the children in Darfur. Darn. Applaud them. That's awesome. I'm really excited. Thank you. I'm just so proud of you for really taking an interest in helping people. Applaud them. Applaud them. Applaud what you find noteworthy. And then, okay, so their focus is on Darfur, poverty in that area. Applaud them, and then try a conversation something like, have you found a ministry that you're giving to that, yeah, Mom, I've done research. And I found this ministry that's all about giving money to Darfur, and I found them really trustworthy. And then what would happen if you said, you know what, I'd like to give some money too? Okay, so you've got their attention. But then what if it goes to the next step? Hey, what about if I give money to your cause, and then would you be willing to hang out with me at this crisis pregnancy center, like in our neighborhood next week? Would you be willing to help me in a food drive? What about having that conversation that says, man, you know, it would be awesome, like, I want to give to what you're doing in Darfur, but it would be awesome to help the people in need here. What are you talking about, Mom? Well, the food bank, I know, Henry that works at the food bank, and they said they're really short on food here, and these families are looking for work, but they really need help collecting food. What about if we help? Do you see what's happened? You have identified your issue, their issue. You found a way to acknowledge and applaud their issue, to start to encroach a little bit in, to show them that you respect them, that you believe them, that you trust their judgment, because we're smarter than it appears. Like Greg was, don't you love how I keep pointing to you? How he was saying, we're smart. We do our research. We know our stuff. I mean, I think you would agree with me. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. We like to think that we do most of the time, but we're all learning. And I think this gets their attention. It helps you support them. But there's other issues on here that I addressed as well. Like raising taxes is wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Tea Party, we're going to oppose the taxes. We say raising taxes takes more of my paycheck and from my family. They say raising taxes okay because we can help others. Common theme, taxes. So what if you said, that's a good point, but do you know how much of that money goes to help the actual people you want to support? What do you mean, Mom? Well, I just pulled up this report from the National IRS, whatever, and I just pulled up this resource from a really credible organization, and they said that actually the percentage of each dollar that goes to this project, only a percentage of the percentage goes to help the person. Really, Mom? That can't be true. And then your kid goes and asks Grandpa, well, Grandpa, this is what I've heard. Yeah, for sure. I've just been reading a book about that. Oh my goodness, what do we do with that? So this is a handout for you. But also I know what Patty has talked about too is what do we actually do? What are some things that we can do, tasks? So again, this is a process that I'm still learning. But a task on raising taxes, this was an idea. If you want to start to get the kids of your community, the group, start to encourage them to look at their pay stub. Or your pay stub. Dad, Grandma, can I have money to go to the movies? Well, actually, I would, but let me show you my pay stub. There's the money for your movie right there. The federal government just increased our taxes. Oh, Mom. Oh, Grandma. You have more money. Well, I do, but I need to be very frugal with it. I'm glad to help you out once in a while, but you just went to the movie last week. Find some way to make it practical.